Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Max Payne 3 hardcore difficulty video walkthrough. This is chapter 13, a fat, that's not even a fucking word, a fat bald dude with a bad temper. So Max finds himself in the police station, wearing another awesome outfit, and once again taking on the feds, or the police, or whatever you want to call them, pigs, all that good stuff. And this is probably the longest level of the game, and it's a tough one because there's a couple of shootouts that are really challenging because the enemies do a lot of damage, they take a lot of damage. It's not easy, but it's not too bad either. So don't think it's going to completely change your view on the difficulty if you've had an easy time so far. It's not going to do that. It's just probably more challenging than some of the areas that we've already done. But luckily enough, this is our opportunity to do a Terminator, because we're going to be moving through the police station, killing everybody in sight, and it's pretty fun. It's a pretty good section. But there's a cutscene being trimmed out, and now it's down to some action. So we're going to be moving pretty much room to room, like we've been doing previously, killing dudes. And if you expect anything different from a Max Payne game, you're in the wrong place. And if you find it boring, that does kind of suck, but I don't know how anybody can get bored of good mechanics. Like, it's a simple premise, shoot dodging and slowing down time and shooting, but it's done and executed so stylishly and so well that I could literally do it forever. Like, I don't know why there isn't a 4-player mode on the campaign where everybody plays as Max and you're all running around just shooting dudes, because it's just one of those games where I don't get bored of the campaigns on Max Payne games. I just don't, because the gameplay is so much fun. And it's often very different just because of how the physics work. And it's something that a lot of games could really do with having a little bit more of. And there is things missing from this game that I've mentioned frequently throughout this guide. The one thing I noticed the other day, which I completely blanked on, was the sweet looking reload animations from Max Payne 2. And what I mean by this is, if you could reload a weapon and you were in bullet time, when Max did it, he did a fancy animation and it was quicker. It was the equivalent of having sleight of hand. He'd do a fancy pirouette and the camera would follow him, and when you came out of it, you'd have a fully loaded weapon. On this game, he just does the standard preset reloads, and that's kind of upsetting because I loved those fancy spins and those crazy, just maneuvers mid-gun fight, because they made it look more stylish. But this is a pretty rough fight, this one, and this pillar's going to be your best friend, because these guys hit really hard, they come from a lot of different angles, and you just need to try and keep on top of them as best as you can. It's not going to be easy, but hopefully you shouldn't use too many painkillers, and even if you do, there's plenty in this police station to keep you going. But you'll notice I've switched to my double pistols, and there are moments in this game when I think the double pistols are probably the best weapon in the game, because sometimes you'll get faster headshot kills or faster kills on enemies with the pistols than you do with the assault rifles, and it doesn't make any sense, but I love it because I am a double pistol kind of man. The only reason I do pick up the assault rifles is so that I've got more ammunition, because when you run out of ammo on this game, it's terrible. It becomes an absolute nightmare, and it's very similar to New York Minute mode. If you run out of ammo on that mode, you're in trouble. And you never ever want to find yourself in trouble in these games because you die too fast. But a lot of the duration of this video is going to be me looking for things, because these offices are very crowded. Some of them have painkillers, some of them don't. There's a lot of clues if you're looking for those for the first time through and everything, but if you're not interested in any of that stuff, you can just carry on forward and you'll get through the level a lot quicker than I do. But it's easier to do it with more painkillers, and it would just be stupid not to look for them. So I implore you to try your best to find the stashes, and just be aware that the painkillers are dynamic. Just because they're there on my game doesn't mean they'll be there on yours. And this is our encounter with an armoured truck, and this is kind of stupid because it kills you in a bullet. So wait for it to stop shooting, go into bullet time, double tap Y to do your fancy roll and pick the weapon up, and then go into cover. Endure the storm once again, wait for it to stop firing, then shoot it with the law and you'll kill it. After it's dead, a bunch of guys are going to spawn, and you do not hit a checkpoint until you kill the guys. So the best thing to do is to get your gun back and then run back over to where we started, because you can use the wall as another cheeky cover spot. Because these guys, the police on this game, are so much harder than every other faction to fight, because They just are. They take a beating, they deal some serious damage, and they seem to just be a bit more aggressive with the movements. And this could be complete placebo, and you could think that they're easiest to fight, but for me, I have the most trouble with the police. But use your bullet time, it's what it's for, and just be patient, take your time. Don't get too aggressive on this section or you'll be seeing that APC a lot more than you want to. And when it's done, you can move forward and get on to the next section. So I'm going to continue talking about the topic I started in the previous video about some of the films that I've been watching. Because I watched a lot of them when I didn't have the internet. As you can, as you can probably understand, you need something to keep you sane when you're not out doing things. And the second movie that I watched, anyhow, was A Man on a Ledge. And for anybody that thinks that sounds like the dumbest title ever conceived, you would probably be true. Because it is a pretty rough title, but it's also a really good film. And it surprised me because when I first came into it, my apprehension was that it was going to be like Frozen, or, the 127 hours, or whatever it's called, where I thought it was going to be one guy in a situation, and I thought the camera was going to be claustrophobic, like Buried, and we were going to see him for an hour and 20 minutes go through turmoil while he's on this ledge. I had no idea that the movie was essentially going to be a heist film. So, for all intents and purposes, it's a heist movie. And it's actually a pretty good one. And it's got Sam Worthington in it, who's, been in everything now. He's kind of like the golden boy at the moment in time. And it's also got Billy Elliot in it, who's actor, I think his name is Sam Bell or something like that. He's a UK-based actor, and he's a good one. He's been in quite a lot of films. You'll know of him from, he was Griffin in Jumper, and he was also like the scrubber in that film with Channing Tatum, where they were both in like Anglo-Saxon England. And I can't remember the name of it because it was a bag of shit, but he's in that film, whatever that film was. I could search it on IMDb, but I'm too lazy. I'm in a commentary, so fuck it. But the premise is a simple one. A guy goes up onto a ledge. He's an escaped convict. He goes to his brother's funeral, and he escapes from the funeral area, and they find him on a ledge about to commit suicide. And all the police are trying to get him to come down, and all that good stuff. And it turns out that he was part of a security detail for this multi-million-dollar banker politician guy who's played by Ed Harris. And Ed Harris is a fantastic actor, but I've got to say, people, he looks so old in this film. It's like the last 10 years have not been kind to Ed. I mean, he's probably really... He might be in his 60s or his 70s, I'm not too sure how old he is, but he looks like the fucking Crypt Keeper. I could see his skull through his hair. It's just madness how gaunt and old he was looking. He really was. And it just goes to show, man, these people are getting old. These people that we've grown up loving and watching do awesome performances are aging pretty quickly. Unless the Clint Eastwood, who doesn't age because he's made out of granite. But he's this corrupt like banker guy, and the theme of the film is the main character, Sam Worthington, has been in prison for stealing this really rare diamond off Ed Harris's. And it's the company that he used to work for as this security detail, and he's on the ledge so that he can put up a bit of misdirection and a distraction so that his brother can go and break into this high security building's vault and find the diamond that he's supposed to have stolen to prove his innocence. And it's a pretty damn good film. I enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot happening. It's nice and tense. It reminds me kind of Phone Booth a little bit, only I think Phone Booth is a better film because how that film even works is beyond me, but Keith Sutherland could phone me any day because that man has a sexy voice. And it's just a decent film, and if you're interested in a thriller that's got an interesting concept that goes places you don't expect it, then definitely check out Man on a Ledge. But moving into the next part of the police station, I'm fighting with a door as per usual. And I can hear dudes... Oh, here we go. Guy's on my left. Did you see him in the kitchen? This guy shoots me from the side because he flanks all the way around as I'm waiting for him to come back. Watch this. He shoots me through that window where you can see to my... There he is. What a cheeky bastard. Right from the cafeteria. But when he's dead, the only guys left are these dudes here. And as you can tell, I'm in a spot of bother because I got knocked on my ass and he tried to rush me. But once this kid's dead in this room, there's still somebody left because that was not a kill cam. So let's have a look. Where's the last one? Is he in here? You'll notice I shoot as well when people aren't there. The reason I do this is because on these kind of games it elicits a response. It makes people move, it makes people attack, and it's a good way of provoking a response. But Max has just spoken, which means that there's no more enemies present, so we can now run around picking up painkillers and trying to get ourselves, you know, equipped for the rest of the level, because this is a long one and there's a couple of tough fights coming up. And this one, in this room, is one of them. The start bit is only awkward because you need to get into this room, and I use this pillar that I'm on, and luckily enough there's only 2 of these guys. The difficulty comes from when the elevator comes up, when we touch a console in a minute. I think it's this area anyhow, I could be wrong. If there's elevators, there's elevators, yeah. The next video is going to show you the firefight that can be really, really awkward. But thanks for watching, guys, and you take care now.
Security monitors while I had the chance.